What is up, everyone? Crunchy Frog here, and as you know, we are currently in a massive lull in terms of the hype train for Modern Warfare 3. The game's been out for several months now. We're still a few months away, if not several months away, from any kind of reveal for CoD 2024, and everyone's just kind of given up on Modern Warfare 3, or at the very least, getting kind of bored with it. This happens every single year. It seems to be a little more extreme this year, and it got me kind of thinking of ways to spice the game up. So today I want to talk about 5 different things that I would like to see instituted in Modern Warfare 3 to spice it up and really make it a great game. Now keep in mind, I know that none of these will probably be instituted, or at least almost none of these, and it may not even be worth it this far into the game since we only have, 5 or 6 months left in the game's life cycle in general before we move on to the next one. But again, I just wanted to give some items that I thought would make the game fun and really flesh out the experience overall without being too pie in the sky, too crazy and over my head with some of these predictions, realistic down to earth things that they could institute just to make the game more fun, or things that I still feel are lacking with the game. Now, keep in mind, I'm not going to mention skill-based or engagement optimized matchmaking here since I've already talked that to death in several other videos, but just know it's pretty much a given. Obviously, one of the things I would change is skill-based. I think everyone can agree on that. Go back to the old matchmaking algorithm. And also another reason why I didn't want to talk about it too much here is because a lot of people are now speculating that maybe they eased the algorithm up a little bit since that blog post a few weeks ago. So that problem might already be well on its way to being solved in general. More on that in another video, but suffice to say that will not be included in the rest of my video. So obviously, if you guys like content like this, make sure to leave a like. It helps a lot of others find this video and our channel. And make sure to subscribe if you'd like to see more videos like this. I'd like to post commentaries, news videos, leaks, stuff like that. And then, of course, if you would like to support the channel monetarily, you can click the join button below for a few awesome perks in exchange for helping out the channel monetarily and keeping the content creation train moving. So with that all out of the way, let's dive right into it. With the first thing that I would like to change or add to the game is bring all of the DLC maps from Modern Warfare 2 2009 into this game. Now, I do believe there's been several dev replies to different questions on Twitter and other mediums basically saying this isn't happening. They have no plans as of now to bring any of these maps in. And I'm talking about all the maps from the 2 DLC packs. I think it was Resurgence, maybe not, maybe Stimulus and Resurgence. I think that those were the 2 map packs. I could be wrong. Correct me in the comments below. But there was 2 map packs that were released with the original Modern Warfare 2, some remastered maps from CoD 4, and then some brand new maps. And as you know, Modern Warfare 3 this year was launched with all of the launch maps for Modern Warfare 2 completely, remade in the new graphics engine, tiny bit overhauled in some places and stuff like that. And I really, really, really would love to see those maps brought into the game. Again, even though they said it probably isn't going to happen. Some of my favorite maps in CoD history in general were found in those map packs. Now, I did not get to play the second map pack much aside from at friends' houses. I never got to own it, but I did purchase the first one and obviously played, hundreds and hundreds of hours on those maps as they came up in the rotation. But I do know the fan favorites were found on that second DLC as well, including like Trailer Park and, the kind of Funhouse map, the Carnival map. That people really enjoyed. And then obviously Bailout from the first DLC is one of, and I mean this honestly, one of my most favorite Call of Duty maps ever, put onto a game. So, to be able to play that map and kind of get back into that atmosphere, I would love that. I don't know what it is about that map that just stands out to me so much, and I have so many fond memories of it, but I really wish I could play it brought up to today's graphics and stuff like that on the newest COD. So it is kind of sad to see that not return. And kind of more, evidence why they should bring it back. They did, the last time that they brought a whole bunch of remastered maps back with Modern Warfare Remastered in 2016, they did eventually release the Variety map pack, which was the one map pack that released for COD 4. So they did go in and remake all of the DLC maps and bring it to the game. Now, obviously, there was a whole big stink because they end up charging full price for that, and everything. And obviously these would be released for free, kind of, corresponding to the new content model that COD follows. But regardless, the precedent has already been set that, hey, if we're remaking all the launch maps, we might as well give you guys the DLC maps as well. But it doesn't seem they're going to be doing it this time. But I just think it would add to the depth of this game, adding back in, however many, I think total of 10 new maps, because I think each map pack had 5 total. That would be great. On top of the Modern Warfare 2, the new Modern Warfare 2 maps that they're slowly adding in, and all of the great brand new maps, original maps that they've added to the game since launch. I just think, this game has the potential to have the best map selection of all time, and adding these maps would go a long way in furthering that goal. I do got to say, like I said, without the DLC maps, it kind of feels like something's missing. If you're going to go back and remake all the maps, you might as well include the DLC maps that people played hundreds of hours on after the game launched as well. That they made up part of Modern Warfare 2's identity back in the day. And it just feels like something's missing without them. And one of the side benefits with that is that would mean we'd also get some COD 4 maps entering into the mix, because again, I think each map pack had 2 remastered maps. The one that I got, the Stimulus map pack, I know came with, I think, Vacant and Crash, if I could recall. Again, correct me down below if I'm wrong on that. But that would give maybe a little more expansion of the types of maps offered in Modern Warfare 3, bringing those COD 4 ones along that were in the map packs. So next up is a big one that I've seen a lot of people ask for on Twitter, and that's bringing back gun prestige. Now, obviously, the weapon level grind is one of the most tedious parts of recent Call of Duty games, mostly because we just want to get to the end to get the mastery camos. But overall, the leveling system is done pretty well, objectively speaking. And I think it could be further improved by bringing back gun prestige. I think it was one of the best progression mechanics that COD had instituted over the years that really made it worth it more to, keep leveling guns and add that fun of prestiging and those extra perks to the gun levels as well. It seemed pretty intuitive, that next step in progression. And then for them to take that out and never bring it back, it just felt weird to me. I know these guns take far longer to level up and different things like that nowadays, but I think it just makes more sense if, that system had stayed. It also gives players incentive to just keep using the weapons after max level. There's so many guns that I got to max level, maybe got the max camo grind even for them, and I'm never going to touch them again. To be completely honest, I'm never going to touch some of these weapons again. But I would definitely, have a lot more playtime with them if there was 2 or 3 weapon prestiges like there was in previous games. As well, you get all the perks that come with prestiging your guns, like in past games, stuff like kill counters or clan tags on a weapon. They were always such cool, badges of honor, so to say, to kind of display on the weapons, especially the kill counter. That was really cool. Obviously some people kind of wrote some pretty nasty things for the clan tag portion, so I could see them not allowing that to come back. But the kill counter at the very least was one of the coolest things you could get, kind of display to everyone who's picking up your weapons or watching your kill cams how good you are with that weapon or how many kills you have with that weapon. And I think that's a massive kind of bragging right for sure. And it would kind of tie in with the large amount of other gun customization features that they've instituted since Modern Warfare 2019. All the charms and the little screens now on your guns and all the stickers and big graphics on the side and the huge focus on camo grinds and mastery camos. They've put so much focus into personalizing your weapon and the monetization thereof. That I think this would just be another logical thing. This would add to already the vibe they're trying to create, and I think it would be a very useful thing to add, that the players would care a lot more for. And Activision, if you're listening, guess what? You could probably add some microtransactions here as well, as much as that pains me to say. They could benefit as well, maybe a cooler font or a glowing effect or something for that kill count or whatever the other perks are that you get to add to your gun for prestiging it. Obviously that's something to toss in the mix that Activision would like to benefit from as well. Next up, we have I wish that there was more war maps. Now, let me preface this by saying, yes, I know that they already confirmed there's going to be a few more. They added one with season 2, so now we have 2 war maps. But I mean like fully fleshed out, like possibly 10 war maps. Now, I know that's a lot to ask, but I really feel, that it would really expand out the offering that Call of Duty has. For me, it's my favorite mode in the game. I've said that kind of since launch. Obviously, I love the 6v6 multiplayer. I'm always going to love that. That's what I play COD for. But at the end of the day, the most fun I have is when I'm playing these war maps. And I was really sad that it only came with one at launch, right? I wanted some more variety when I was playing it, but I still rarely ever got bored, even with that one map. So whenever they added in the second, that adds a lot more variety. I just wish there was a bunch more. To kind of, again, fill out that variety. It also would be a fun way to maybe incorporate some more classic maps that they don't want to add as full-blown, 6v6 maps into the rotation, kind of like they did with Crossfire and Countdown, right? Which were COD 4 multiplayer maps that they just kind of baked in and added into the first war map. So it's a really cool callback, ways for you to kind of play on those maps without them having to fully flesh out the map and add it into the rotation and kind of, add to that map total as well. I know there's probably a lot of dev work that goes into, crafting each one of those maps. So you could possibly get 2 or 3, maybe even 4 kind of callback maps or remaster type maps into one war map, and probably a lot easier on the devs, while still giving us something that we would like. I also just feel overall they should pour a lot more effort and make it a bigger part of the COD experience. I think it's something that would really differentiate COD and evolve the multiplayer side of things. It's already kind of getting stale. Obviously they have Warzone, and that's kind of the direction that COD wants to go in the future. But I think focusing on stuff like War or these special modes that are unique and craft unique experiences while still using the, frenetic COD gunplay that we all love and stuff like that, I think that's the way for COD to make the next step forward without totally reinventing itself, right? When you play War Mode, you still feel like you're playing Call of Duty. It's not like they're changing things up too much that people are going to hate it. But at the same time, it feels new. It feels fresh. It feels more rewarding, more, engaging, everything like that. And I think they need to pour more love into it and almost show it as much love, dare I say, as they do with Warzone. I think having, those pillars of multiplayer, Warzone, War Mode, even if you call it something else to differentiate, and then the 6v6 experience, just to kind of build out that experience a little more, even if that would fracture the player base, even more so than it is today. Next up, and I've talked about this in a couple of videos, but I'll just reiterate some of the points as well, because I think this could be a great thing for the franchise as a whole, not just this game. And that's kind of twofold, too many ways to fix the microtransactions in this game. The first of which is a way to actually earn the microtransactions in-game without paying any money. Now, I know that sounds way too consumer-friendly for Activision, but hear me out. I've talked about this before, but it would be a similar system to Assassin's Creed and Far Cry, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, more specifically in Far Cry 6, wherein basically there was daily and weekly challenges that earned like a premium currency of sorts, different from the payable currency and different from the in-game, just upgrade currency that you got throughout playing the game. So this was tied directly to those challenges. And then there was like a revolving storefront that only had a couple little items here and there, right? It wasn't like the whole storefront, all 480 bundles that they've added to the game. But, little items from it. So maybe a helmet from this pack, or maybe a mount from this pack, or, in Assassin's Creed, they had like the eagle that would fly overhead, or the crow that would fly overhead. They'd have a skin for that in there, a skin for your bow. Like just little things from each pack, right? So you're not buying entire packs. You're not buying 70 items or anything, like just one item out of here and there. And it enabled you to get some of the stuff that you really, really wanted, but you weren't willing to pay money for. And it got you playing the game more, which they got player retention numbers, we got items, and it also incentivized you to actually spend money in the storefront that you wouldn't have spent otherwise, because let's say through this system you were able to buy like 2 items from a pack. that pack would then be discounted for the cost of those two items. So now instead of paying $10 for a pack, maybe you only had to pay, $4 or $5. Suddenly it makes it much more palatable to you, and you spend that money that you wouldn't have spent otherwise, right? So yeah, they didn't get the full $10 from you, but they got $4 or $5 more than the zero that you were going to spend beforehand. And I know that because I did it firsthand. There's a couple packs in Assassin's Creed that I was able to get a couple items for, and then I said, well, now it's only $4 or $5 to get instead of 10 or 15. I might as well do it. And they managed to get a few bucks out of me that they really had no business getting out of me otherwise. So I think this would be a great way to get it, especially for those of us that maybe only want a gun blueprint. We don't want all the stupid stickers and the operator skins and all that, or vice versa. Maybe you just want a specific sticker or a specific skin, stuff like that. A way for us to, really reward us for playing the game. And they already have a daily and weekly challenge very well entrenched in the game, so that would just be a way to build it out even forward. And kind of the second half to this question, like I said, for improving microtransactions, is a way to possibly disable the skins in the game, at least as far as the operators go, maybe even the weapons as well. Now, I know this is super controversial. Obviously people pay a lot of money to look cool in a game. They grind battle passes and everything to get cool skins to look cool in a game, and this would totally undermine that. So I understand that there would probably be a fee to kind of offset whatever money would be lost there, maybe $5 or $10 or something to get that toggle. But I think a lot of the people like myself that enjoy that more immersive experience, we hate fighting against Nicki Minaj and 21 Savage and, whatever crossover marketing event they have going on right now with other pop culture franchises. To keep it more immersive and more milsim, have Task Force 141 and the more grounded operators, maybe a different category of skins that you could still possibly buy. They were just milsim or realistic or something like that. And then you have the more zany Fortnite-esque ones that would be kind of filtered out. So, if somebody has a Nicki Minaj skin, well, to you, it just looks like, a default soldier, or it just looks like Ghost or something like that. And I think, again, they'd probably have to charge for that, and I understand that, but it'd definitely be an option that I would do, just because I'm getting really sick of the crazy skins. But I understand that I'm not like everyone. There's a lot of people that love those skins. So, an option for me to turn it off while enabling them to keep their fun Fortnite stuff in the game as well. I think that's a nice compromise. Finally, the last thing that I would add is theater mode. Now, this is something I could actually see them adding, maybe not this year, but maybe in 2024's CoD. Just because the community has been calling for this for so long, and it used to be such a staple of the franchise. But one of the biggest issues as a content creator I know is I'm not always recording. I should be, maybe there's an argument to be made there, but I'm not always recording. Sometimes I'm doing other things or playing with friends, not paying attention, or streaming and not paying attention. And so one of the best ways before is if I had a really good match, I could go back into theater mode and record it. I didn't have to worry about having that recording up right at the beginning of the match, or maybe I forgot and I started recording 2 or 3 minutes into the match after I'd already gotten, an 8 kill streak or something like that, and then the rest of the match was just so I had to throw out an otherwise good gameplay. This would kind of hack that away, as well as enable other people to go back through and get some really cool clips. There was also a lot of machinima type stuff that was done with theater mode, a lot of great content that was created for YouTube and other platforms utilizing theater mode. I think it really sparked people's creativity and stuff like that in a great way, and I feel like we're missing out on a lot of that content now without that theater mode. Obviously, some really, useful people, really savvy people have found ways to kind of get around that and still get some of that cool footage and everything. But not nearly as often as back when we had theater mode. And again, that was just such a great staple of the Golden Age CODs. It was a feature that almost everyone I can't think of anyone who disliked it or thought it was useless. Almost everyone thought it was a net positive for the game. And of course, for people like myself, or even just people looking for TikTok clips or things like that, it would make our lives so much easier. I can't tell you how many matches that I've done really well, which is rare with the algorithm, the matchmaking algorithm. But matches that I've done really well, and then they're just lost to time because I forgot to press the record button, or maybe I was over a friend's house and I didn't have my rig with me, and I can't record. I'm just playing on a friend's couch or something on his TV. And whereas, otherwise I could always go back a day or two later and grab that footage and record it whenever I had time and everything like that. So I'd really love to see them add that. I don't think that's a crazy ask. I know some of these suggestions are more something that I want or kind of fever dreams, even though they're the more realistic of the expectations that I had. But I think theater mode is no questions asked. I think that's an easy hole-in-one to add in the game that everyone will love and most people will benefit from. So that about wraps it up, guys. That's just 5 things that I would like to see them add to Modern Warfare 3. Obviously, a lot of these could be added going forward in future CODs as well, but these are kind of more specific to this game. Problems that I see come up in this game specifically that I would like changed and everything like that. Obviously, like I said at the beginning of the video, I don't expect them to introduce or implement any of these. I think we're kind of past that point. We do still have like 3 or 4 seasons left, but man, it really doesn't feel that way. It really feels like this game is on its deathbed, and we're all just kind of tapping our fingers on the desk, waiting for Treyarch's game to come out in October or November of this year. So let me know down below, what are your thoughts on these 5 options, and what would you like see? What would you like to see rather added to the game? Something that I didn't mention here. Let me know in those comments below. I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts on all of this. So like I said, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more content like this. And until next time, guys, I'll catch you later. Peace.